All right, welcome everybody. My name is Jeff Bechtel. I'm the Assistant Athletic Director for Communications here at UW. Happy to have you here for the 33rd Annual Windermere Cup Press Conference. As we do here on these things, we'll introduce you to a few folks in addition to our coaches first, and then we'll move on, let each of the coaches say a few words, and then open it up for questions. So if I may first, from the Seattle Yacht Club, one of our partners in putting on this great event, we'll introduce the Admiral Bob Brown and his Vice Admiral Chris Falsco. And Admiral Brown, if you wouldn't mind coming over and grabbing the mic and just saying a couple words.
Thank you. It's a real honor and pleasure to be part of opening day along with the University of Washington and Windermere Real Estate. We would like to invite you all to, after the races, stick around for our parade, which starts at noon sharp. And we'd like to wish all the teams the best of luck on Saturday. But this Husky, class of '81, just also wants to say, go Dogs! Woof woof!
Thank you, Bob. Bob does movie trailers in his spare time, I think. And also, we'd also like to introduce the president of Windermere Real Estate, Obi Jacoby, and he'll have a few words to say, and then we'll move on along to the coaches. Here you go.
Thanks. Well, that is hard to follow. That is the best radio voice I've ever heard in my whole life. Holy moly. Welcome, y'all. This, what started as a partnership 33 years ago has really blossomed into an incredible event. To even say that you've had a partner for 33 years and you still enjoy each other is pretty spectacular. And we truly do enjoy our partnership with the Seattle Yacht Club and the University of Washington. You guys are in for a real treat. You know, I know you've heard about it, those of you who are the first time, but to be able to row along the shores of Lake Washington is pretty spectacular. I have two nieces who both were rowers. They both won NCAA rings at different schools, but you know, it's pretty, you know, and my sister would invite me down to go watch the regatta, and I'd be standing on the side of a lake going, okay, now where are they? And you'd be looking out there. And so to have an event like this through the cut, that tens of thousands of people cheering you on is really, really special. And so we're very proud to be the sponsor of the event. We're proud of our partnership. It's always great to bring incredible teams from the world and from collegiate athletics here in the United States. And we just thank you all for being here.
All right, and just for simplicity's sake, we'll just do it in the order that we're seated here and essentially pass the mic, although they each have their own. So, Michael, if you get us started.
Thanks, Jeff, and thank you, everyone, for coming today. It's great to have everyone at the Conner Shell House at the University of Washington. I was thinking about our partnership, and it is a true test of teamwork. There's so many people that go into this regatta, this event. It's a Northwest Classic. Started with the Seattle Yacht Club over 100 years ago with a boat parade, and it's become just one of our cornerstone events in Seattle in this region. And then we had a boat race in front of it, and then Windermere, John Jacoby came along and said, hey, we need to get the world's best here because this is the most spectacular setting for rowing, and we're really not bringing out what our, really not showcasing our students and what it's all about. So we initially brought in the Soviet Union, and from there it's only gotten more spectacular, and the event has just grown. And I wanted to thank Seattle Yacht Club for being incredible partners with us and bridging the cut, and Windermere Real Estate for making just this spectacular and allowing us to have some of the best athletes in the world come to race our students. There's nothing like it in intercollegiate athletics out there in the world, so really appreciate everything you do for us and our students. So this year, there's a couple things that are highlights. We had one of our strongest and most influential alumni, Blake Nordstrom, passed away in early January, that all you know. And he was very close to me personally, many people on our team, and he cared deeply about this program, what it did for young people. And so we thought that with partnership with Windermere, we'd honor his memory in this race. And they made a commemoratory poster. And in the beginning of the regatta, we're going to have a video, and our team is going to be dedicating this race to his memory and what he's done for our program and our history here. Today, actually, Vineyard Vines made a memorial tie, and this is actually him and the Husky too. He'd usually follow the races. He loved this event. This is an event he would look forward to every year. I mean, he was a boating person. He loved getting out there in boats and engines and sails and anything about boats. And that's maybe why he was so drawn to the Conner Shell House. I mean, we have hundreds of boats here, right? but this was his event, and it was going to be really hard to not. I think we're all going to feel his spirit here, but it's going to be hard to imagine him not here watching this. Some of his family is going to watch the race in the Husky 2, which he renovated years ago with me, and but we're going to be dedicating this event to him. So the next piece I think is really exciting part about it is Windermere has been pushing us in a good way to help expand rowing. And I think rowing's in a place where it's a difficult sport to watch. Maybe similar to what it was in the Boys in the Boat, went from 4 miles to 2,000 meters in the 60s. Now we're talking about internationally racing sprint races. So this year we'd like to, Obi has been asking to put a little more hype into our regatta. So we're going to do inaugural night sprints on Friday night. So tomorrow night at 8:17, we're going to race the men down the Motley Cut. The distance of the Motley Cut, 600 meters, which should only take 1 minute and 30 seconds. And then the women will follow us at actually sunset, 8:25. And it'll be finishing near the cut party that's at the ASUW Shell House, the Boys in the Boat Shell House, where Windermere is hosting a party. Rowing has to, we need spectacles. We need eyes on our sport. We need to draw young people into it. We need to stay relevant to the youth of the world. And when you first start rowing, the first thing you want to do is do starts and sprints. And so we're bringing ourselves back to that, and should be a lot of fun for our students, hopefully the German team, BU, UCLA. We're looking forward to it, and I hope some of you get to watch it. And this is just the beginning. This is an inauguration. We're just doing 2 races to keep it simple, to see if we can actually pull it off amongst yachts and dinghies and the chaos of the Motley Cut on Friday night, but it should be a lot of fun. So this year we also wanted to bring the world's best, and since the Beijing Olympics, the Deutschland-Ochter and the German national team are the preeminent and strongest eights rowing nation in the world. They won the London Olympics in the 8. They have a silver medal from Rio, and they've been winning the last 2 world championships. They also have the fastest world time of all time, and they train in Dortmund, Germany. And we called their performance director and asked if some of the Germans would like to come to Windermere Cup this year. And we've never had the German team as a national team before. We've had a university from Germany, but we're really pleased to have the Germans come all this way. It's a hard trip. It's halfway around the world. They have World Cups they're aiming for, maybe Henley, maybe World Championships, and we really wanted to thank them for making this trip. Hopefully I think you're going to be in for a real treat. It's similar to Henley in a way of crowds and noise and excitement, and you're going to really be appreciated in all the hard work you put in this winter. So I hope you enjoy the regatta. We also wanted to bring one of the strongest East Coast, schools from the East Coast, BU. Tom Bohr and I have known each other probably from the 90s. I actually idolized Tom. He won an Olympic gold medal in '92 when I was on the junior team. I went to the Junior Worlds in 1992, and he was winning a silver medal in the straight 4. And he kept rowing, and by the time of end of my career, I think we actually rowed in a few practices together, trying to make the Olympic team. But Tom has been one of the strongest and best rowers in our nation's history, and he also has an assistant coach that rowed for me in 2015, Alex Perkins, and they brought 3/8s, and we're really excited to have them and have Boston University here on the men's side. We are in, I think, a pretty good space as my team. We won the Cal Duel, which is something that we circle on our calendar. We know that we need to get to another gear. I always feel like the Windermere Cup is almost like a championship experience before a championship. So you get to see what a lot of pressure is like, a lot of noise, a lot of eyeballs on you, and how can you perform under pressure. So we're looking forward to the challenge that the Germans and BU brings to us. It's our last race on Motley Cut this year. We're sending out, I think, 12 seniors. But we're up for the challenge, and we're really hoping that all of you come and pack the cut here at Rowtown, USA. I'm going to pass it off to Yaz. She's got a pretty awesome team too this year, and so I'll pass it off to you, Yaz.
Thanks, Callahan. Tonight, well, if you know anything about this week, it's a week. It's an event that spans the course of a week, and we're so grateful to Windermere for hosting this since before I can remember. This is my 3rd year here as a coach, and this is one of the things I look forward to the most the whole season, and I can tell you that our student athletes absolutely do as well. Tonight with BU, UCLA, and the German national team, we will all gather together upstairs in the Windermere Cup dining room. Another incredible gift from Windermere to renovate that room and redo it. And it's one of the things I think about rowing that's so special, that before we compete, we all get together tonight and share a meal and get to know one another and get excited about the opportunity that is before us on Saturday and now this year in the night sprints as well. We're so excited to have all of you guys here. I can't even tell you, and I really hope that you enjoy every moment of this week because it's going to be really special. What else? I think that's mainly it from me. Serious. Any questions that you have, I'm glad to answer them as we go. Tom?
Well, we're already enjoying ourselves very much. It's not very often where you come off the airplane and someone meets you with roses and into the city, and thanks you for coming. We're really excited to be here, and before I kind of get into about our team, I'd like to thank Windermere, Seattle Rowing Club, or Seattle Yacht Club, and University of Washington for having us here. Mike has asked BU to come here for about the last 5 or 6 years. It's never really worked into our schedule of just coming out here and then either going Eastern sprints. But this year we had time in our schedule to come out here, and it's really worked well. My guys are really excited to be here. It's just to travel out to the West Coast. Be around, a big rowing powerhouse like Washington, the event of itself. In Boston, we always boast about the Head of Charles, this big regatta and 2-day regatta, and on the East Coast where most crews come. The Windermere Cup seems like it's going to match that. I mean, it's just I was really getting pretty fired up when I was looking at all the media stuff and all the people just from past years watching the race. It's really going to be an event that we're really going to enjoy, and I know my team is really going to treasure it. We're excited to be here. The East Coast rowing, it's we're racing every weekend against the Ivy League schools and schools like Syracuse and Northeastern. It's back-to-back racing every weekend. But East Coast, it's the schools are really tightly packed. I think we're having a good year. The races that we lost 2 races by a total of 1.5 seconds. So it's really tight on with all the schools, and we're hoping we can come out here and give Washington and the German team a good push for their money here. So we're excited and look forward to the weekend.
Is that me now? Yeah. All right. Well, first of all, thank you so much to Windermere and the University of Washington and Seattle Yacht Club. This is an amazing opportunity. We've been here before in 2004. Started coaching at UCLA in 2001, and we got an invite in 2004. And I was so extremely excited when Yaz gave me a call and invited us to come again, because the opportunity that this race affords is unique to anywhere I've ever been. And we've raced all over. Well, I've raced all over the world, and my team's raced all over the country. So the excitement, that atmosphere, it's an incredible opportunity. I have a lot of seniors on my team this year. We're bringing 12 seniors in, and I'm really excited that they get the chance to do this in their final season at UCLA and be a part of this experience. As far as our team this year, our biggest race was canceled. We flew out to Clemson, took the boats out to Clemson, South Carolina, and stayed there for 5 days without getting one race in. So our speed is a little bit untested. Our early season events, I think we're okay. I think it's probably the fastest varsity 8 we've ever had since I've been there. So that's exciting. I don't know how we're going to fare against UW, number 1, but we're super excited for the opportunity, because to be the best, you want to race the best. So really appreciate that, and we look forward to it. And obviously, racing an international powerhouse like Germany is just such an amazing opportunity. I have at least 4 women in my boat in the varsity 8 that are hoping to do international rowing after UCLA. So it's exciting for them to get to line up against the German national team. So again, thank you so much for this opportunity, and it's going to be very much appreciated by an eager Bruin squad.
Also wir freuen uns als deutsche Achter, dass wir eingeladen wurden, und möchten uns als allererstes bedanken beim Seattle Yacht Club, beim Washington Universität, und für es ging schon los mit der ganz herzlichen Begrüßung am Flughafen, die perfekte Organisation, und vor allem bei Michelle wollten wir uns sehr bedanken. Also wir freuen uns.
Okay, the German team is also really excited to be here and wants to thank Windermere and the Seattle Yacht Club and the University of Washington and they're really excited and really grateful, and the warm welcome was really nice, and they also want to thank Michelle for like helping them so much.
Also ich war 20 Jahre Steuermann und jetzt 10 Jahre Trainer. Also wir freuen uns sehr auf dieses Event. Also es ist eines der größten Ruderregatten oder die besten Ruderregatten der Welt. Und wir sind froh, dabei sein zu können.
Peter was a coxswain for 20 years and a coach for 10 years now, and he's really excited to be here because it's one of the biggest races, and he thinks it will be great.
Ich kann mich auch nur den Worten anschließen von Peter. Also bedanken uns halt beim Seattle Yacht Club, Windermere and Washington University. Freuen uns erstmal über diese Einladung, besonders auch, dass Michelle uns so herzlich begrüßt hat, die jetzt hier, glaube ich, gar nicht vor Ort ist, aber war bis jetzt erstmal wunderbar.
Yeah, René, who is the women's coach, is just echoing the same stuff Peter already said, that he's really grateful to be here and excited, and thank you for the warm welcome from everyone, and thank you to Windermere and the Seattle Yacht Club and the University of Washington.
Ja, wir nutzen jetzt die Chance im Frauenachter halt. Wir waren ja die letzten 3 Jahre nicht international im Frauenachter dabei bei der WM. Jetzt nutzen wir halt diesen Auftakt hier für uns. Wir hatten jetzt vor 3 Wochen unsere Meisterschaften im Zweier ohne und jetzt bilden wir jetzt erst den Achter. Und das ist der erste Schritt für die Mädels. Und wollen wir jetzt schon mal zeigen, wo wir hier stehen und nutzen halt auch diese Chance dafür und gucken halt mit den Gegnern, wo wir auch denn da stehen.
The Women's Aid wants to use this opportunity to kind of start off the season. They just had the Small Boat Nationals 2 weeks ago, and it's just great to have this opportunity to like measure themselves against other crews and start off the season.
Thank you all very much. To be a very good job. Thank you. Yeah. So I think what we'll do is we'll ask you to use the microphone. I'll hand it to you if you'd like to ask questions. For simplicity's sake, Bill, do you have anything? Go ahead.
Guten Morgen. Let me ask them what level of athletes they've brought to Seattle, and also how the facilities in Dortmund compare to this race course.
Okay. Welches Level von den Athleten ihr mitgebracht habt, quasi? Also die Top- oder nicht so Top-Athleten?
Nee, wir haben in Dortmund nur Top-Athleten. Also wir haben einen großen Kader von 30 Leuten und wir mussten ein bisschen Prioritäten setzen in der dualen Ausbildung und einer ist auch noch Papa geworden und so weiter. Und wir hatten auch vor 2 Wochen die Zweierausscheidung und haben dann festgelegt, wer geht zum Windermere Cup und wer bereitet sich für Duisburg bzw. für die Europameisterschaften in Luzern vor.
We only have top athletes in Dortmund, but they had to make priorities and decide who's coming here and who's staying in Germany and preparing for the international regatta in Duisburg. That's next weekend. So that was a factor for the decision who comes here, and also some people couldn't come here because of studying in Germany. That didn't fit in the schedule. Und die zweite Frage war, wie der Unterschied zwischen den Trainingsgegebenheiten hier zu Dortmund ist. Also quasi die... Ja.
Also Seattle ist schon schöner als Dortmund, das muss man sagen. Dortmund kann man vielleicht ein bisschen besser trainieren, weil wir da einen Kanal haben und wenig Schiffverkehr, aber ist mir doch sehr nett. Also.
He says that Seattle is more beautiful than Dortmund. But Dortmund might be a little better for training because they're just training on a canal there. And so it's a little more protected from wind and less traffic with boats.
One question for Coach Callahan and Farouk. You have several athletes on the University of Washington roster from Germany. What's the pipeline? What's the attraction to get them to come row here?
Oh, wow. Well, Tobias Schendekel, our lovely translator, is the stroke of our varsity 8, and Kalina Schanza is our 7-seat. Clara Gruba is also here. And I don't know, it might be a question for Tabs as far as the draw, but we are... Tabea and Kalina are the strokes of our varsity 8, essentially. And so they're just incredible rowers. Clara's the stroke of our second varsity 8 right now. So for us to be able to attract such top caliber athletes from Germany, I mean, they really are a pipeline for our team. And then to be able to have the German national team come here and race, for us, it's really a dream come true. Tabea's really a humble person, so she went volunteer that she and Kalina went to Germany in March to do their first round of pairs trials, and they actually won. So we were so proud of both of them to be able to achieve that, and we hope the door is open there. You guys think that they're pretty good, and they have a good chance for maybe making the senior team this summer. So we love having Germans on our team. We hope that you'll send us some more, and we hope that you will feel like we send them back to you even better.
Yeah, I agree with Yaz. Rowing's a sport that you actually peak late in your later in your life. So you're not going to peak at 20 years old. You're probably going to peak at 28 to 30 years old. So I always see it as a place where people can develop. You can come to the University of Washington or BU or UCLA, and you can go to a top university and study at a very high level and also row at a very high level while you develop. Some athletes our student athletes are developing in a different development stage. So I see ourselves as a development stage, and our hope is to make them better, then pass them on back to their national team. We always feel like that's really success for us. We also want them to go away with a degree and be ready for life after rowing. So I think hopefully the draw is having experience, a lot of racing experience. It's intercollegiate athletics is an incredible, fun experience itself. I don't think this exists in a lot of other nations. So in itself, it's fun. It's fun to go to football games with 75,000 people. It's fun to go to basketball games where next NBA players are playing, and you eat dinner with them, and then you go to school with them, and then you go back to your national team in the summertime or maybe the Olympics later on in your life. I think that's the draw, and what an incredible, and if we pay for it, even better, right? So, it's just an amazing opportunity, I think. And you get to maybe live out of your country, gain a little bit of world experience, and then go back and be better educated. I mean, we're in a global world now, so I think these students are really well traveled. They're incredibly articulate, and they bring a lot, both the Seattle community, our team, and hopefully back when they go back to Germany.
For all of us, I just realized that Peter and Amy and Tom and I were all in the 92 Olympics on our different teams. Peter was the coxswain for the German men's 8, and I was coxswain for the U.S. women's 8 in 1996. But we all know as coaches that, at some point you're going to hang up the oars, so to know that I feel so good about the education that these guys are getting, so that when that time comes, then they're going to have an amazing career. And they're some of our best students on this team, too. So that's the other really awesome part, that they contribute to our team in so many ways and the culture here at the University of Washington.
Other questions from anybody?
For the German national team coaches, what's the reputation of the Windermere Cup in Germany?
Habt ihr schon mal was vom Windermere Cup gehört in Deutschland?
Ja, natürlich. Ja, das haben wir schon gehört. Wir haben uns auch, also die Einladung oder die Gespräche kamen schon im Oktober, November, da haben wir uns schon sehr ausgiebig mit beschäftigt.
They've definitely heard of the Windermere Cup before, and they were really excited when they got the invitation in October, and then looked more into it to really find out what it's about.
Anything else, or Scott?
Jeff, can I say a few words just about the event? Callahan called it a spectacle. And when I think about the greatest rowing events in the world that I've ever had the opportunity to participate in, the three that come to mind are the Olympics, the Royal Henley Regatta in the UK, and the Windermere Cup. And I wasn't able to compete here, but my first year here 3 years ago was the first time I got to follow the races down the course in a motorboat. And the crowd at the Windermere Cup is amongst the greatest rowing crowds in the world, and you guys are going to experience this. I mean, it's really cool. Last year when we pulled in the starting blocks, there was a guy on a yacht in a silk robe surrounded by a bunch of women in bikinis. Not exactly sure what that was all about. It was very cold that day, and but people were dressed and just like ready to take in, you know, it's a party out there on those boats. And then here our athletes are trying to be focused, pull into the blocks, you know, like get ready to have a peak performance because the competition is legit. And somebody fired off a cannon, you know, at the start. And so it's chaotic, it's crazy, it's wild, and it spans for 2,000 amazing meters. And when you enter the cut, it is truly rowing in a stadium. I remember you telling me, Callahan's like, yes, it's like rowing in a stadium. I'm like, okay. And it's rowing in a stadium. There is one stadium in the world, and it's here. And it's in Seattle, and you guys are going to get to live it and love it. And it's just amazing, and I just can't wait for everyone to experience it, fans and rowers alike.
I was just going to, on a similar note, Thomas, Amy, is this something that, like they were saying, you get the invitation and you start reading up on? I know you said you were here previously, or is it just something where the reputation precedes it going ahead?
Well, you know, we heard about it, and actually, again, once you get it, and I know that starting tomorrow when we do the 600-meter sprint race, I think it's going to be new for everybody, and it's going to be really wild, and I guess it's really going to set in when we see all the boats out there on Saturday of what this event's really about. But yeah, we're really excited about it.
We didn't get the invite until after our budgets were in. So when I got the invite, that didn't even dissuade me at all. We're just going to fundraise. We're going to bring as many crews up here as we can because our 2004 experience, and obviously with Windermere graciously hosting the Varsity 8, we just went all in because we were up here in 2004. I love this city. I love the experience of rowing through that cut and through that stadium, and I just wanted as many women on our team to experience this as they could.
All right, thanks everybody. Before we leave, however, we're going to do a draw for lanes for the Windermere Cup and also for the sprints, as it were. We'll do both the men's and the women's draw separately. They will draw for lanes 2, 3, and 4. Lane 1 will be used for the photo launches in the first race, the men's race, or rather vice versa. And then for the second Varsity 8, the Huskies' second Varsity 8 in the women's race. So again, we'll draw for lanes 2, 3, and 4. We will have each of the 2 German coaches go first, then our visitors, U.S. visitors, and then the Washington team will draw the third. So why don't we start with the women, if we can. So kind of stand up if you want. I'll bring the cup to the middle, and we'll ask Renee to start us out with that draw.
The reveal.
Go ahead and open those up. There's a number in the inside of the card.
We got the fastest lane yet.
In order.
So Germany in 2, UCLA in 3, and Washington's Varsity 8 in lane 4. Thank you. They were mixed up.
Are they just
automatically?
Germany in 4, Washington in 3, and BU in lane 2. So, thank you, everybody. Again, everybody's welcome.